I'm Jerry Alford. I'm from the Soil Association in the UK. Leguminose project is looking at the potential of intercropping as a farming practice, particularly with the potential to improve nutrient cycling, bring in alternative crops into the system and try to move away from that need for artificial inputs. Specifically, we're looking at cereals and legumes like peas and beans. We know that by growing the two together, you do have that sort of beneficial effect between the two. With potential of disease and pest reduction, the potential that nutrients flow between the two crops so that one feeds the other. We know that from other trials that you do get an increased yield of total crop from the area. Not more yield of each crop, but the two together will help each other. We've become dependent on growing a monoculture because then the chemical controls, for example, or the system becomes very simple. But we know that nature doesn't like monocultures, and so we're often battling against nature to try and make these monocultures work. So intercropping potentially gives us an opportunity to work with nature a bit better. We want farmer-led work. It's peer-to-peer. The farmers learn from each other. They talk about what works and what doesn't work, and so they will follow the successes. They will learn from the mistakes. Well, on-farm living labs are where we let the farmer grow the crop in his own field in relatively big plots rather than the traditional research small plots. They can choose what they do, what they grow. It's their management or stages, and the sort of scientific rigor comes from having enough farmers doing the similar thing rather than having a very replicated trial. So it means the farmer's in control. The challenge is, some of it comes back to what this monoculture attitude that we have in farming, but the challenge is from a practical thing is having grown two crops together, can you harvest them together? And what do you do having harvested them? Can you separate them out to make them usable as a sellable commodity? Or have you got to use it, as, for example, just as an animal food that has been grown together to be fed as a mixture? Within the farmer groups that we want to work with, we will be bringing in companies that utilise that sort of technology, try to introduce it, get the farmers to work together to find ways to overcome these problems. It'd be really nice to see that an intercropping system is relatively normal, that we have a production system which is producing what we need. It's not producing overproductions of particular commodities and deficits of others. And so we have a much more balanced agriculture which supports human consumption of high quality food. It moves, the byproducts can go into animal farming, so therefore we don't have to be growing crops specifically for animal food, and we can get a much more balanced farming system. I do like peas. They're very sweet tasting.
Okay.